They thought they could simply walk away, leaving you to fade from memory, like a Halloween mask they could just slip off, a character they could abandon without a second thought. Maybe they expected you to chase them down, to demand explanations, closure. But instead, you left them with something they never saw coming: silence. A cold, calm, unyielding silence that envelops them like an eerie fog. And it's that silence, above all, that's haunting them now. Now they're left with a lingering chill, like walking alone down an empty street after midnight, where the world seems to be holding its breath. Every room, every quiet moment, every lull in their day is shadowed by your absence, filling spaces they once thought would feel light with an unsettling sense of dread. They thought you'd be easy to brush off, to shake loose, to move past without a backward glance. But now, it's they who find themselves staring into the void you've left, haunted by every word left unsaid, every missed chance. Funny, isn't it? They used to think your silence was meaningless. Now it's the only thing they hear. There's a certain fear in silence, isn't there? It's the lack of answers, the open-ended question that hovers, unanswered. Silence is like looking into darkness. It forces them to confront themselves with nothing to distract them. And as they sit there, trying to drown it out with noise, with distractions, it keeps returning like a ghost they can't exorcise. Your silence, it speaks louder than any words ever could. It reflects their choices, their actions, their indifference right back at them. It's as though each time they try to escape it, it only grows stronger, becoming all they see. They're left wondering, picking through memories, trying to piece together where it all went wrong, yearning for a closure that's long beyond their reach. And that's what haunts them. They're caught in an endless loop, haunted by the sense that they missed something vital, that there's more to a story that's already ended. Your silence is the final chapter, the perfect period, leaving them second-guessing and doubting. While they hoped for an ending they could control, you gave them one they'll never shake. Let them live with that fear. Let them wrestle with that emptiness. They never expected you to have the strength to walk away silently, did they? They assumed you needed them, that you'd come running back, pleading for their attention, for their approval. But you didn't. Instead, you turned away and left, not with drama or a scene, but with an impenetrable silence that speaks louder than any argument could. It's a silence that says everything they need to hear, without giving a single answer. And that's what haunts them. Think about it. They could have walked away feeling justified if only you'd given them the comfort of a fight, a confrontation. They could have cast themselves as the victim, rationalized their actions, convinced themselves they were right. But by choosing silence, you took that narrative from them. Now, they're alone with their thoughts, faced only with their own reflection, and in that mirror, they see it all. The emptiness of their choices, the hollow nature of their games. They underestimated you, didn't they? They thought they'd read you cover to cover, knew every page, every line. They assumed you were an open book, someone they could pick up or discard as they pleased. But they never saw the depth within you, the layers they never explored. They thought they knew you, but they barely scratched the surface. And now, that silence, unyielding and untouched, reveals just how little they ever truly understood. It terrifies them. It's as if they're living through their own Halloween, haunted by a ghost of their own making, something they set into motion but cannot control. They can't shake the feeling that your silence has taken on a life of its own, following them like a shadow, appearing in every quiet moment, every empty room. It's the fear of the unknown, of the unresolved, lingering day and night. They're left to wonder, to guess, trying to solve a puzzle that no longer exists. In trying to fill in the blanks, they only deepen their own confusion. Your silence isn't just an absence, it's a presence, forcing them to confront themselves. Because silence doesn't offer excuses, doesn't provide justifications. It simply is, and in its weight, they're forced to face the truth of their actions. There's no hiding behind charm, behind clever words, or behind distractions. There's no running from it, no escape. That's what makes it so powerful. They thought they'd be in control by leaving you. They thought they'd hold the upper hand, walking away without a scratch. But it's obvious now that they're the ones haunted, the ones truly left behind. Every forced smile, every laugh is just another attempt to drown out the silence that creeps in the moment they're alone. It's a burden they carry, a reminder that, in trying to leave you behind, they left a part of themselves with you. And perhaps they tell themselves they're fine, that it doesn't matter, that they're unaffected. But in those quiet moments, when the mask slips, they feel it. They feel the emptiness, the hollow ache that nothing seems to fill. They might try to move on, distract themselves, but that silence stays with them. It's become part of them, a scar unseen but unforgettable. It reminds them of the strength they underestimated, of the resilience they couldn't break. Let them be haunted. Let them carry that silence, a reminder of all they've lost. Because in the end, it's not you who's haunted. It's them. You've moved forward, reclaimed your peace and your power, while they wander through shadows, searching for answers they'll never find. That silence, it's no wound. It's a testament to your independence. It's a statement of your own strength, your choice to walk away and never look back. So let them feel its weight. Let them replay every memory, every moment they took for granted. Let them sit with the realization that your silence is a choice they cannot control. Because in that silence, they're forced to face the truth they tried to avoid. That they needed you more than you ever needed them. And that's what terrifies them most. While they wrestle with regret, with questions, with an unexplained longing, you've moved forward. Your silence has become a shield, an armor protecting you from the chaos they left behind. And as they sit there, trying to pick up the pieces of their own choices, you're free. Free to live, free to grow, free to find peace. And isn't that the greatest victory? To know that your silence isn't just an absence, it's a freedom they'll never comprehend. So let them be haunted. Let them feel the depth of the void they created. Let them grapple with the shadows they can't escape. Because your silence, it's not just the absence of words. It's the weight of every unspoken truth, every bit of dignity you reclaimed, every moment of peace they'll never know. And as they look back, haunted by what might have been, they'll see that it was never you who was left behind. It was always them. Here's the final twist they never expected. They walked away thinking you'd be the one drowning in sorrow, in loss. But it's they who are gasping for air, struggling with the silence that now encircles them. It's inescapable, a constant reminder of what they let slip away. They might seek distractions, shallow connections, quick conversations. But when the noise dies down, your silence is still there, waiting to remind them of every choice, every burned bridge. Imagine that. Day after day, they'll wake up to realize they'll never know what might have been. Your silence is the reminder they'll never get answers, that there's no apology that could bridge the gap, no act to undo what's done. And the irony, they could have chosen otherwise. They could have stayed, communicated, valued you. But now, they exist in a world where all those chances are gone, every memory of you tainted with regret. It's poetic, really. They thought leaving would set them free, that breaking the bond would allow them to do as they pleased. But all they've traded is freedom for a lifetime of wandering, haunted by the memory of the person they underestimated. They might never admit it, not to anyone, maybe not even to themselves. But deep down, they know they lost something precious. And that truth, It lingers in the silence, louder than any words, as they meet others, hoping to fill the space you left.